Let's go over who the candidates are. And we're going to start at the top and work our way down. Connecticut's 5th district, which I'm in, which encompasses all of New Milford among a host of other places. Let me bring this up so I can follow along myself. Is going to be George Logan taking on incumbent Jahana Hayes. George Logan is the Republican running against Jahana Hayes, who is the incumbent Democrat. This is George Logan's page. If you guys want links to these pages, I'll share them. But quite frankly, there's just kind of a lot of links to drop in here, and we're going to go over it pretty quick. So just let me know if you want me to share them. George Logan is taking on multi-time incumbent Jahana Hayes, who has voted again in favor of every gun control measure that has come to the floor of the House. She has been the one who has espoused the ideas of get rid of guns, get rid of violence, which is against what the data shows. George Logan isn't, and Jahana Hayes can't get away with identity politics anymore because of who's running against her and George Logan, which is something that she largely campaigned on previously. She's been very quiet because her actual politics, if you follow her voting record, are not exactly moderate. Now, the other thing to point out is that she's in the 5th district, which we can go over real quick. Let's just show you what the results have been over the past few years. This is 2018, 55 to 44. This is 2020, 55 to 43. She has the power of incumbency and the power of a 5th district that has been gerrymandered to absolute death. And I can show you what that means. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, no, we don't have it. Oh, no. Sorry. So these are the margins she's winning by. These are not huge margins in Connecticut, which is widely considered, a Democrat stronghold state. These are winnable margins. Now, the way you go about winning this, of course, is number one, redistricting, which didn't happen because the district is like nakedly gerrymandered. Nakedly gerrymandered. Let me see if we can pull up the actual district here so you can see what the shape of the thing currently looks like. Excuse me while I bring this up. We should have a map here. Yeah, this is Ballotopedia. They do a pretty good job of just agglomerating data. This is what the 5th district looks like. And you can see on the right side, Meriden. Why is Meriden in our district? Look how far out they have to reach to get to Meriden. Why is New Britain in our district? Who thinks of New Britain as being part of the northwest corner of Connecticut? Do you think of it as more as being with Hartford? Meriden. Is that part of the northwest corner of New Milford? Of Connecticut? Is that part of the ethos and spirit of New Milford, Warren, Cornwall, Sharon, Torrington? Or is it something you'd associate more with like Middletown, New Haven, Hartford? Well, we all know what the reason these cities are included, because they're giant cities that are Democrat guarantees. We don't even have all of Torrington. We've talked about this before in the show, but Torrington's split in half. Do we have the Naugatuck Valley? No. We have Southbury. We have all the Burries, but we don't have all of Waterbury. We don't have Naugatuck. We don't have Ansonia. These are Republican strongholds. This is the most based and red-pilled part of Connecticut. We don't have any of the towns north of Torrington, which are all red. Yeah, they're small, but they're all red. Right? The district does not respect the spirit and the ethos of the northwest corner of Connecticut at all. Like when you think of New Milford, do you also think of Southbury? Kind of. Do you also think of Naugatuck, Watertown? Kind of, maybe. Do you also think of Torrington? Kind of, maybe. Salisbury? Kind of, maybe. Do you think of New Britain? No. Just no. Like, these districts should not, I don't care about the shape of the thing necessarily. It doesn't necessarily need to be rectangles. We've talked about this. But if we're going to talk about gerrymandering, it's obviously happening here in Connecticut. It's obviously happening here in the 5th district with Jahana Hayes. I'm going to call it her district because she's the incumbent. And we've talked about on the show, what my recommendation would be to go ahead and get this thing fixed. There it is, folks. There's your 5th district. I know people are going to look at it and say, well, it's closer to a rectangle. Cool. No, I don't care about that. What I care about is we've no longer gone to extraordinary lengths to get ourselves over to Meriden, Southington, and New Britain. And we have included things like the Naugatuck River area. And not only have we created something that's a little bit closer to a rectangle, which is what most people are asking for when it comes to gerrymandering, we've created a district that culturally, in the spirit of the thing, better reflects the spirit of the thing. We've drawn a district where there's no lines dividing a town in half. And what you wind up doing when you draw the district like this is you don't actually change at Nat. You don't really change at Nat the number of electors in each of these districts. So you're not changing the number of people. You're just changing the people. And if the map were drawn like this, then Jahana Hayes would still have won in 2020, let's say. But the margins we've talked about on the show, and we've actually shown the math behind, and we pull out the Excel spreadsheet, would have been more like 3 or 4 points. 3 or 4 points is the generic incumbency advantage. So if George Logan wants to get his act together and run a campaign, because quite frankly, David X. Sullivan ran a borderline non-campaign in 2020. If George Logan gets his act together, if we start to see him, if he runs a campaign the way Larry Sharp runs a campaign, where he's got an in-person, like 2 or 3 in-person meetings a day, where he's on YouTube and Facebook constantly, where he's this thing that predicts elections better than anything really is name recognition, especially in a district like Connecticut's 5th, which could be flippable.